everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to today's Global Portraits for Girls webinar. I'm Farah Rahmi. I'm the moderator of GPG program, which stands for Global Portraits for Girls. Today, webinar is all about scholarship opportunities in Canada for bachelors. We will explore scholarship from three prestigious universities: University of Toronto, the University of British Columbia, and Metropolitan University, if I'm not mistaken. We are really honored to have Ms. Ria with us, who is an educational mentor at EAGT under our board. She will be sharing the details of this scholarship, helping you understand the eligibility criteria, and she will share some key tips that can strengthen your application. So now, without further ado, let's welcome Ria. Welcome. We are fortunate to have you here. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Farah. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here with everyone. Hope you're doing well. I am excited to share bachelor's opportunities in Canada. All right, so let's start with a little bit of an introduction about Canada as a country. So Canada is the second largest country in the world by land mass, but its population is only 38 million people. So it's a large country with a smaller population as compared to countries like United States and other countries. It has two official languages, which are English and French. It's mostly English speaking, but the east coast of Canada, there are some places that are predominantly French speaking. However, they also speak English. Major urban centers in the country include cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal. The universities I will be sharing today are based in Toronto and and Vancouver. So they're in the urban hubs, which has a lot of job opportunities, academic opportunities, and so on. There's a lot of multicultural population in Canada, and it's melting pot of diverse cultures, and there are people from over 200 ethnic origins that are in the country, which means that there's a lot of like linguistic diversity. There's a lot of international food. There's people from all kinds of religions, cultures that you can see like when you're walking on the street. So it's a very inclusive country in that sense. It's one of the highly developed OECD countries, and its main industries include natural resources, technology, manufacturing, and services to the United States, and trade ties with the United States. Canada's education system is regarded as one of the best in the world and has really renowned universities. The universities that I will be talking to you today about, especially University of Toronto and University of British Columbia, are the top two universities in Canada. So looking forward to sharing a bit more about that. So before we begin about the scholarships, I want to talk a bit more generally about what it requires to get accepted into a bachelor's program in Canada. So first and foremost, you must have completed a secondary school, that is your high school degree or a diploma, and it can be international. So there's A levels, international baccalaureate, or like the board of your home country. All of those are accepted, but you have to have a completion and mark of transcripts that you need to present in your application. The second part is your marks, so your grade point average, your GPA. So Canadian universities have, like I said, a high standard of admission. So your GPA requirement can range from anywhere between 70 to 90%, depending on the program that you're applying to. Talk a bit more about these specific numbers for each university as I go through them. But yeah, in the range of 70 to 90% is kind of that's recommended. So competitive programs like engineering, business may require higher grades, but usually this is good. Then the third thing is English language proficiency. So if English is not your first language, but which it's not in Afghanistan, like it's not in many other countries, you have to demonstrate proficiency of English language through TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. Most universities in Canada will use an online application system. I would say all of them use an online application system. So you need to make an account, register through there, upload your documents, including transcripts, letter of recommendations, the statement of purpose, and that's how you apply. And you get your decision over email as well. And then finally, after you get accepted, you will need to apply for a valid study permit to come to Canada, which is their visa, and for which you need a letter of acceptance from the university that you're wanting to attend. All right. Now I will talk a bit more about the universities and the cities that they are located in. The first scholarship I will touch upon is the President's Entrance Scholarships in Toronto Metropolitan University. Um, so Toronto Metropolitan University is one of the most renowned universities in Canada. It's located in Toronto, which is the largest city in Canada, and it's known to have a large population of international students and has a strong focus on experiential learning, offering a range of co-op programs, which are internships, opportunities for hands-on experience in fields like business, media, arts, engineering, and it offers a range of on-campus residence options. It's located in the heart of the city in the downtown area, so it's very well connected to all the necessities that you need, for example, shops and transit systems and so on. So you can very much easily commute if you're located in Toronto Metropolitan University. In Toronto, there's a transit system called the TTC, which is the Toronto Transit Commission, which has streetcars, buses, subway. So all of those are connected, and you can use those to get around the city. It's fairly convenient, and all the buses and stuff they run from the university. So that's a good, well connected area. Second university I will be talking to you about is the University of British Columbia, specifically the UBC International Scholars Program. So Vancouver is again very multicultural city on the west coast of Canada. So it's on the opposite side of Toronto. It's a very beautiful place. It has like mountains, ocean. So really like naturally, it's really beautiful. UBC again has a beautiful and large campus. So there are many options for residents within the university on campus, with ranging from dormitories to personal studios and like a range of options. Off-campus options are also there. There are areas near the university such as Kitsilano, West Point Grey, or university endowment lands where you can choose to live if you want to live off-campus. Cost of living is high in Vancouver. However, there are student housing is generally cheaper than living off campus, as well as the scholarships that I'll talk to you about is fully funded, so that kind of will be helpful to cover the costs. In Vancouver, the system is operated by BC Transit, and it's again very well connected. There are a lot of buses, SkyTrain, and so on that you can get around to the city in. UBC is also a very well connected place with buses from within the university as well as to and from the city. The third university I will be talking to you about is the University of Toronto, and the scholarship I will speak about is International Merit Admission Award, or the International Scholar Awards. So the U of T is the most prestigious, top-ranked first university in Canada, which makes it a little competitive as well, but it's renowned for its world-class research, academic excellence, and diverse community. It also has a lot of international students, so it's a hub for attracting international students. So the students that you will be studying with will be from all over the place and not just from Canada. So that's a plus point. So it's again located in the heart of the city in Toronto, and has three campuses: St. George, which is in downtown, Scarborough and Mississauga, which are in the suburbs of Scarborough and Mississauga. However, there is like a good transit system that is connected via subway, so you can always like switch between campuses if your program is offered, for example, in Scarborough or Mississauga. And St. George is the main campus. So as a student, you will receive like the TTC U pass at a discounted rate, and you can get around the city pretty easily. Now I'm going to start in detail about each of the universities that I mentioned. So the first one is the President's Entrance Scholarship. Hosting institution is Toronto Metropolitan University. So this is awarded to secondary school graduates who demonstrate academic accomplishment, leadership qualities, and original thought and creative ability. The value is $40,000, which is pretty high, and it's for the full range of your 4-year bachelor's program, and you can renew it every year. So every year you can renew like for $10,000, and the total value is $40,000. The eligibility criteria is that you have a minimum percentage of 90% in your GPA for your high school education. And your average is calculated from the best of your 6 courses, so the best of 6 in 12th grade or your home country's board. So the application requirements are such: you need to provide an essay or a project summary. So In the essay, you can you can write a creative writing piece on a topic you're interested in, or if you've done a project in your high school or after high school, you can talk about the summary of the project that you undertaken. It can be a leadership or community project, for example, on education, on uh, women's empowerment, or anything like that. You can also write about your experiences in like an essay, and what your experiences as a student have been in Afghanistan. I think that would be very telling to like the people who look at your applications. And you also need to demonstrate original thought, and it's pretty short, 500 words, so not too long. I think that's a good thing. Then you need to give two letters of references. One of them must be an academic reference who can confirm your scholastic ability. So any teacher from your school who can speak to your academics, and they can also talk about your leadership and other skills that you have. The second letter should address specifically your extracurricular activities, so beyond the academics. So what is your leadership capacity? What are your creative endeavors? So one academic and one extracurricular letter of reference. The third is leadership activities, where you will talk about the positions that you've had in your school, or like the volunteer positions you've done outside of school, or anything that kind of helps demonstrate that you have uh, uh, a, a, a need for like leadership outside of the classroom, and you can demonstrate a way to kind of get people together, or work on important issues. This is more so to show that you can thrive in international environments, because a lot of times in our home countries we just like stick to academics, and we don't do a lot of other activities. So they just want to see that we are able to like do other things that are outside the classroom, because in Canada the education is very practical, and it's not just about like learning and memorizing content, but it's also about applying the content that you learn. The deadlines for this are from November 1st to February 15th. So the thing opens on November 1st, the application opens on November 1st, and you have up until February 15th to complete it. I will now show you the application website and the scholarship announcement link to show how the application and interface looks like. So this is just the university website, and you can find your program. Here, for example, you're looking for undergraduate. So these are all the programs that are there. You can choose from any of these and see which one you're interested in. And in Canada, again, you can kind of switch the major once you, for example, you've come to study biology honors, but you realize you're interested in biomedical sciences, that there is a way to kind of switch your programs just by changing the courses you're taking. So that's a possibility here. And there's also this helpful page on how to apply, which shows you exactly the steps you need to take. So pick your program, review the requirements for the program, check your application dates. The application dates will remain mostly the same that I said, November 1st to Feb 15th, but scholarship dates might be different. For example, scholarship applications are due a little bit before the program applications. This is more detailed instructions on how to create your account, apply, upload your documents, and then check your application status through the portal. So this is the scholarship that I was talking to you about, the President's Entrance Scholarship. 12 people will be awarded this scholarship. These are the requirements, and you will be applying through this portal. So this is the portal. You have to sign in with your school account, which is TMU. Yeah, you have to basically register here. So once you pick your program, create your account, you can do that through this portal. So tips for success. As I said, that this is a scholarship that looks beyond just your academics. So you need to demonstrate some kind of extracurricular activities that you've done. So if you can provide any context for achievements or awards that you've received in your home country, or highlight how you excelled in your studies amidst difficulties that you're facing, and that you're prepared for basically the life in Canada, and the life at a university in TMU, because university is again like a rigorous exercise. So they are looking for people who are prepared for that journey. And then the second tip is to highlight any volunteer experience or anything that any creative projects that you've undertaken in high school. Share specific examples of how you've contributed to your community, whether through organizing events, leading projects, or volunteering, to show that you're engaged and a proactive individual who will bring value to the TMU campus and the faculty that you end up joining. All right. The next university I will be speaking to you about is the University of British Columbia. It's in the top three universities in Canada. It's in Vancouver. There's another branch in Kelowna as well, but Vancouver is the main branch offering a wide range of programs. The scholarship is the UBC International Scholars Program. So they have four awards that are available through the International Scholars Program. And when a student is nominated for the Scholars Program, the team will determine which award that you are eligible for. So you don't need to worry about which award should I apply for. But the important thing to keep in mind is that you have to be nominated for this award. What that means is the school you study at, or even a nonprofit can nominate you for the award. They need to send a message to UBC saying that I award X and X person from this school to be nominated for this award. The per school cap is two, so every school can only nominate up to two students. But this is important to be considered for the award. So, a student must be nominated for the UBC International Scholars Program by their school, guidance counselor or administrator, or a nonprofit organization. You can use either of those, and a nonprofit organization can only nominate high school students. So the eligibility criteria is such that you must be an international student who will be studying in Canada on a Canadian study permit. You must be entering UBC from a recognized secondary school or transferring from your first year at post-secondary college or other university. You must have graduated from high school no earlier than one gap year prior to the academic year you are applying to. So that means if you're applying for 2026, you should have graduated in 2024 and no earlier than that. This must be your first undergraduate degree application. You must demonstrate superior academic achievement, which is grade should be above A. So again, let's say 80 to 90% GPA. You must demonstrate a level of financial need that would prevent you from pursuing a UBC degree. And so you need to demonstrate that why it's important for you to have this financial aid to complete your degree. And you must meet UBC's admission requirements, including degree-specific requirements and English requirements. So this is the application requirement. You need to review the application page, which I will show you in a second. Decide on the academic program that you want to study and which campus. So either UBC Vancouver or Kelowna. To be considered for the International Scholars Program, you will be considered for your first choice of program. And you can still select a second choice, but your first choice is eligible for the award consideration. When selecting your degree, please note that the following degrees are not applicable. So these are the ones that are not applicable. So nursing, Bachelor of Nursing, Bachelor of Dental Science, Bachelor of Medical Lab Science, Bachelor plus Master of Management are joint degrees between UBC O and UBC Vancouver. So these are not eligible for the awards. Please keep that in mind. To apply for the International Scholars Program, you must be nominated by your school or a nonprofit and submit a reference from an academic referee. So only one letter of reference. Confirm that your new school or nonprofit is able to nominate you. This is the first step to seeing if you can even apply. Talk to your school or talk to the nonprofit that you are associated with to see if they're able to nominate you. A single high school, college, or university may only nominate up to 2 students. A nonprofit may only nominate a high school student who is involved with their organization. So if you're volunteering at an organization, you can ask them if they would nominate you. And the nomination award will count towards the total number of nominations permitted from a student school. So you need to inform your nominator and academic referee that you would like to apply. Please let them know about the November 15 application deadline. So it's better to start early, probably by August, July or August. You should let them know that you're thinking of applying, and then they nominate you around September, and then you start your application. And by November 15, you complete your scholarship application. And then the program applications are due a little bit later by, I think, December. So gather your required financial information as well as notes on extracurricular activities and awards. Apply for the scholarship program by November 15th and submit your application to UBC program by December 1st. These are the programs at UBC. Again, you can see multiple programs, multiple faculties, and you can just choose from here whichever program. Please be careful to not choose the programs that are mentioned as not eligible. That is going to create a problem in the scholarship application. And this is the scholarship page. So all the helpful information is here. These are fully funded, so there is no need to worry about like paying out of pocket. So all the tuition fees is covered. These are all the deadlines. Let me show you the application, the instructions to apply. Start, save a copy of these instructions. You can ask any questions that you have and email this email address directly. They are pretty responsive. Uh, so yeah, these are all the instructions, detailed instructions that you need to follow to start your application. Here is the portal that you need to apply to. And then you have to apply to the program of your choice by December 1. Application fee waivers are granted on a limited basis, so you can also email this email address up here to ask for a waiver of application. There's the application fee is about $100 on average for any university. So these are the instructions for the nominator. So if your school or a nonprofit will be nominating you, they need to follow these instructions. And then these are the referee instructions. Whoever will be giving you an academic reference, you need to show them this and they can follow these instructions. This is the application form for your scholarship application. It's just the financials. So you need just to give you a sense of what all is needed from the applicant. So that's a detailed questionnaire on family, where you live, household, all of. So tips for success is discuss the International Scholars Program nomination with your school or nonprofit by early September at the latest. To be considered, you have to be nominated. So it's important to get this sorted sooner rather than later. Each school can only nominate 2 students, so be mindful of that. You may switch to nonprofit organization if your school has reached the limit of nominating students. Before starting your award application, confirm the name and email address of the principal, school administrator who will serve as your nominator, and a professor or a teacher who is familiar with you and your schoolwork and serve as your referee. Review the award application thoroughly to ensure that you've gathered all the information. Like I showed you, it's a pretty detailed application form. So better to review that in advance and start gathering your information. And if you have any questions, please reach out to this email address. They are there to support you and help you through this process. So they will be pretty responsive. Don't think that you don't have like anyone to answer your questions. It can be pretty daunting, but these teams are specifically there to help international students navigate the application process. Great. The third and final university I will be talking to you about is the University of Toronto, which is the top 1 ranked university in Canada. And the scholarship I will talk to you about is the International Merit Admission Award. It's specifically for international students. The scholarship I just talked to you about is also only for international students, so it's not for domestic students. So competition is a bit reduced because of that. So this scholarship, the International Merit Scholarship by the University of Toronto, is offered upon admission to selected international students on the basis of merit. Students are automatically considered for this award. So once you apply to a program at University of Toronto, you are automatically considered. No separate application is required, which is very good. So it's valued up to 50,000 over 4 years, which is enough to cover your tuition fee, and you renew it every year. So in the first year, you get up to $20,000, and then you get $10,000 for each consecutive year. So this is the eligibility criteria of the award: completion of your high school diploma or program, and in high academic standing, and fully satisfying the conditions of your offer of admission from the university. The full-time registration in 8 consecutive fall or winter terms and completion of at least 3 credits by the end of each winter and fall session, which means you need to be registered for the whole term of the program and you need to complete at least 3 credits, which is one class by the end of each fall or winter session, which is easily doable. Usually, you'll be taking 3 to 4 courses in one semester. An exception is made for students registered with accessibility services or with a reduced course load. Credits earned during summer can transfer credits are not considered. An exception is made for transfer credits earned during outbound exchange through UFT programs. Please, so if basically if you go for exchange program to another university, it's not considered usually, but an exception can be made. But this is for like extreme circumstances. So registration as an international student is a requirement. So yeah, you can only be international, which means you're not Canadian or and you require a study permit and visa to come. International students charge domestic fees are not eligible for this award. Registration as a student in Faculty of Arts and Science in the St. George campus, the award is not transferable to other campuses or faculty. So this is in the main St. George campus in downtown and not in Mississauga and Scarborough. So the application requirements is submit your application through the university portal, which is the Ontario University's Application Center in late September. There's a whole link on how to apply, which I'll show you in a minute. The requirements are just to complete your high school degrees and the marks for each program, like the requirements, they vary between programs. So more competitive programs like computer science, it's like low 90s, humanities requirement, it's like low to mid 80s. So there's information on that. I'll just show you in a minute. Deadlines for applications are from September 15th to February 3rd. And the application ends on like February 3rd. These are the programs in University of Toronto. You know, the website in this of this university is very detailed and it has a lot of pages, so it can be overwhelming. But I encourage you to kind of browse it very well because they have a lot of information on each and everything. So from marks, from how to apply, from program, from scholarship, they have a lot of detailed information, which is helpful. So you can browse the programs through here. And see what the requirements are. For example, you need to have these calculus in your high school if you want to apply for these programs, right? There's some don't have any requirements, but the math and science ones will have requirements. So it's good to review that. Then this is the scholarship award I was talking to you about, the International Merit Scholarship. These are the terms and conditions that I already spoke to you about. This is how your payment will be dispersed. It'll be automatic into your account. Don't need to like make a separate application for it. And these are helpful like contact information that you can refer to once you have any questions. You can refer to this page for frequently asked questions. They have a lot of good like information here. These are the important deadlines. So early consideration deadline is November 7th and regular deadline is Feb 3rd. So if you start your application earlier, you can also apply early. Submit your required documents by December 2nd. Complete your supplemental applications by December 2nd. Apply for residence, so on-campus residence, and then respond to your offer. This is the portal of the university where you will need to create your account and apply. And this is like the marks that are required for each faculty. So computer science, low 90s, humanities, low to mid 80s, life sciences, mid to high 80s. So it gives you a very good overview of the requirements you need to get into a program. Admission decisions and English language proficiency. So you can see here, Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, all of these are accepted as applicable. Tips for success for this university, because it's a highly competitive university and a lot of students want to get in, is to plan early and thoroughly research the university website, to see which program is your best fit, and review this page for international students in advance because it's really helpful. You can basically do it from the start. So undergraduate, and you can get the whole like checklist of all the things you need to keep in mind and complete. So this is a really helpful website. The second thing is be sure to review the important dates and deadlines. Sometimes it can be a bit like confusing because there are a lot of things due at the same time. So I would recommend make a plan ahead, review it in advance, and try to apply early so that you can uh, not have stress at the last moment because you then need to start applying for visa and start planning for your residence and all that. So it's better to complete your university application and then begin on the other things.
So thank you, Aryo, for sharing your incredible information and insights with us tonight. So now it's time to wrap up this session. And don't forget to follow us. Our media team has shared the links in the chat box. So you can simply click on the links and you can follow our YouTube channel and other platforms. So wishing you all a wonderful evening. Have a good time.
Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.